Hi, my name is Anna and I want to share a video blog about doing my first coffee enema. On Monday, so that was 2 days ago, I did my first enema and that was really good. It actually went a lot well than I had imagined. And I have been wanting to do an enema for over 20 years because I know the benefits that they cleanse out your bowels and they are really good for your health. And I did mine on Monday because I did the liver and gallbladder flush, which was absolutely amazing. And I just landed on it because my friend is having some gallbladder issues and I went looking for alternatives if there is any way to naturally cleanse your system, to naturally dissolve the stones. And I found Andreas' book on the gallbladder and the liver flush. I will share his full name because I have forgotten it now and the details below. So I found that and I did the flush in the last 48 hours and it was actually incredible to witness that there's so much gunk inside of the liver, inside of the bowels, and there was so many stones that came out, and it already I feel so much better, not just physically but emotionally and mentally. And before I did the flush for a while, I think about 6 months, I've had this extra weight that I cannot get rid of, and I have been having a lot of mood swings, irritability, frustration, anger, quick to irritability basically, and just I didn't feel very good in my body. And I did a hair tissue mineral analysis in January and I got the results and everything was just off. My immune system, everything, my thyroid, it was just a huge imbalance. And before I went any further on that, because for that I did receive advice on what vitamins to take, I decided I wanted to go a bit deeper than that. And so naturally I ended up doing the flush. And I realized how doing the flush is actually one of the ways that helps you to clear out toxins and helps you with your overall health. And I had no idea just how much it would help me, because during the actual flush and now I just felt so relaxed, so peaceful. Don't get me wrong, I did feel uncomfortable. I mean, the first night of the flush, because from after 1:30 during that day, we're not meant to eat and just drink. And so I drank. And then at 6 p.m. when I drank the first salted water, that was disgusting. And then, 6 to 8, and then 8, I drank my next salted water. And then at 10 o'clock, I had my squeezed orange juice, squeezed lemon juice with olive oil. And then I lay down for 20 minutes and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up at 1 o'clock. I had literally wet myself all over. And when I got to the toilet, flush, everything just came out. And from then on, it was constant on the toilet. That I think that went up from 1 a.m. till 1:30. I was on the toilet. And then I woke up at 6 a.m. again to do the next salt. And then I just kept going to the toilet. But the whole process was so cleansing. and it was just everything that was inside from my liver and my gallbladder, everything was just being thrown out. And I had over 40 stones. The stones, they just kept coming out. And I had a lot of old stones as well as new stones, so there was a mixture. And then I had a lot of bile from the liver that kept coming out. And I also had these crystals, which is what is said in the book. That's also part of the liver and the digestive tract that comes out. So during that whole process, it was painless and there was so much coming out of it, and I felt clearer and I felt light in my head. And this irritability that I had before, let me tell you, when I did the enema, that started it. So after doing the enema, the irritation, it was starting to go. And I noticed how calm and relaxed I was. And then when I did the flush, it was just gone. And any feelings of like anger or like worthlessness as well, I had with this feeling of sluggish the whole time that I had these immune issues for the last 6 months, and this extra weight that I couldn't get rid of. It was just like wearing me down. But as soon as I started doing the enema, it just started going away. And then the flush, bang, it went out. And now I feel it's like there's a new me, not just internally, but in my mind and emotionally, I feel anew. So I'm going to share below about the flush, the book, so you can go and buy it and have a try for yourself. I'm very proud that I did it, and now I've inspired my friend who has a lot of stones in her gallbladder, and her doctor and the surgeon, so she was referred to the hospital so that she can have her gallbladder removed, but she's not having it, and she's very grateful that I found this and that I did this. And so she's very excited to be doing it as well in March. And I showed her the pictures of the stones. I had, so many stones. It's amazing. And I know that I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to do it in the next month. And so for the flush, before you do it, the author encourages you to do either an enema at home, or you can do colon hydrotherapy, where you go to someone to have it done. I chose to do it at home because I had bought an enema kit about a couple of years ago, and I've always been interested in doing it myself. And so now was the perfect time. And so I did it. And I've been getting over a cold that I've had in the last 2 weeks, and I had just got over it, and then I felt like I wanted to do the enema. And I did a water enema. That was what I chose to do because it was my first time. And it feels now that I want to do a coffee enema, so that's what I'm going to do. So when you do the flush, which I'm going to share the book below and where you can get it, you're advised to do an enema or a colon hydrotherapy before, leading up to the flush. And so I did mine on Monday, and then you're advised to do one after the flush, like 2 to 3 days. And I finished my flush yesterday, and today is officially my normal day, because yesterday and this morning I felt like I was still flushing, not stones anymore, but it was just felt like, and what I saw, things from my insides, like crystals, as the author said, and I could feel how good it was. So today I'm going to do my coffee enema. That was a big over sharing from where I originally wanted. So this is going to come out how it's supposed to come out, and I trust that it will help you, because this is where I'm at. This is why I'm doing the enema, because of the flush. And so I'm going to start to prepare my coffee enema now. And what is advised, if it's your first time doing a coffee enema, is if you use a teaspoon of organic coffee. And I'm not going to use full beans. I've got my coffee here. This is an organic Café Intención aromatic ground coffee, and it smells delicious. I've actually been desiring coffee yesterday and today, but I haven't actually drank it. When it came to actually smell it, I didn't want it. So I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of this, and I'm going to boil it in the pan. I've got my pan here, and it's going to be, I'm going to boil it until warm, like room temperature, because when you pour it inside your bucket, you're meant to leave it at, room temperature, just a little bit warm, not hot, because you don't want to burn your bum when you put it up there. And then, so I've got that, and I've got about, I'm not sure yet, but I've got 2 liters, that's 2 cups of water. That's 2 cups of water, and I'm going to pour that in my pan. And I've got 1 teaspoon of ground organic coffee, which smells really, really nice. That's going up my bum. So now I'm actually just going to pour that in, and I will come back and continue. Hey, I'm back. So I've got my coffee now and my water in the pan, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and I've got it on light cooking on my gas, so it's on the minimum, that is. And I forgot to share that the reason that it's advised to use 1 teaspoon of coffee for the enema is because, for me, it's my first time. So if it's your first time doing a coffee enema, that is, the lightest, and you don't know if you're going to be sensitive to it. So if you use, like 2 tablespoons of coffee, and when you do it, you're actually feeling really sick or something happens, which God forbid it won't, you want to take care of yourself in this process. You really want to be safe. And so that's why it's advised to do 1 teaspoon, because it's very light. Like looking at my coffee, which I'm just going to show you in a minute, you'll see that it's just very light. And after that, I'm going to use a strainer, because I don't want to have like those bits of coffee going up my ass. And I'm going to use a strainer to get out those little bits and pour it into a big cup. So I'm going to show you now where I am at. Here's the coffee, and it's just boiling. So it's on very little, minimum, and I am boiling the coffee in the pan. It's also recommended and mentioned that you can also boil it, you can do it in the kettle and then pour it in your coffee. I've got a French press, you can use a coffee machine, but I'm just going to do it how I did it the first time, which I did with a water enema. So I'm just checking. Yeah, I'm just checking the temperature because I don't want it to be too hot. It's advised to be like room temperature minimum. And let's see, it's getting there. So I have the setup here. I'm going to strain the coffee because the coffee is now ready from the pan, and I'm going to bring it over. Let's see. Doing it slowly. That's a lot of liquid. I did 3 cups in the end, but I may do just 2 cups when it goes into my enema. So we'll see. But man, it's much better to strain it. Do you see how much coffee there is there? It's better to have the liquid clear. So that's good. And it's a little bit hot, but that's fine because then I have some time to take this upstairs and prepare it. So see you in a bit. So I'm now in the bathroom. I have my setup here on the floor, dark towels because of the coffee. This is how it's come out. 1 teaspoon of coffee. Then I have my pillows. It's recommended that you do it while lying down and you have your head just tilted a little bit above so it's higher than your body. Then I have my setup here with the container, and there we go. And I want to show you, so before I show you, it's graphic images, but I want to show you my stones and what came out of the flush. So bear with me. Here we go. This is what came out of my liver and gallbladder stone flush. These are all the stones. So the really dark green ones are the oldest ones, and then the dark brown are the oldest ones, and the light yellowish brown, light yellowish are the new ones. And you see those green ones here. That green one here looks like a really big one. That other green one there, more green ones, they're the bile from the liver. So roughly it's over 40 stones here, but when I was on the toilet there were much more smaller stones that I didn't pick up, like that one over there, much more that I flushed down the toilet. So probably like 60 or 70 stones in total. So I just wanted to show you what can come out of you. Even if you don't have gallbladder issues, you know, if you just do it because you're curious to feel better and you want to really just have a different experience, then you can do it. But I highly recommend that you talk to your doctor first, because I am not an expert. I did this because I wanted to and I needed to, really. And like I shared with you before, I already had some issues within my immune system and other issues like irritation and other emotions going on. And it actually, now that I've done it, it actually helped me in a huge way, because I had no idea. It's because of these guys that I was getting so irritated and having all sorts of pains and issues. So it is important that you get advice from either your doctor or holistic doctor or a health practitioner, so that you don't do it alone. if you don't want to do it alone and you feel safer, because this experience is for you and you need to feel safe within yourself when you do it. So my coffee is still cooling down for room temperature, and I'm going to take some out and just add some cold water. And I wanted to say that when you do your enema, you can find a position that best suits you. You know, I did it in the bath. It was not comfortable, but I did keep moving around. I think at one point I was on all fours as well. So on the floor, you know, you are advised to lay down on your back, but you can also go to the side as well. So it's just finding what works for you. And also with the coffee enema, if you haven't had a bowel movement, I read that it's also recommended that you can start, you know, with 5 minutes of the enema with the coffee. And then if you feel like going to the toilet, you go to the toilet and then you come back to do, you know, the full 20 minutes is recommended. But if you can't hold it in, then you can go to the toilet and then come back and continue it. So, but it is advised that you are laying down or, you know, going to the side so that you take in most of the liquid. And so because this is my coffee enema, I haven't had a bowel movement all morning. I've done the flush, the, you know, liver and the gallbladder flush. Yesterday I was doing bowel movements all the time. I was flushing out. And this morning I've only been on the toilet once, but I haven't had any bowel movements. So I'm going to do the 5 minutes. I'm going to see if, of course, that goes well, then I can stay 20 minutes. So you're going to be with me the whole time. So that was just something that I needed to share because that is also important. See you on the other side. So I managed to make my coffee enema at room temperature. I just took some hot out and I put in some cold water. So now it's at room temperature and I am going to begin and we'll take it from there. So something that I did notice just now is that I still have little bits of coffee inside, you see. I am not going to put that into my bum. What I'm going to do is strain that again so that it's a bit clearer. Because for me, I want it to be as safe and comfortable as possible. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to strain it, come back, and then start the process. And then I will take you with me. So I'm back. I did that. This is the only container I could have. But it's so much better, you see. It's a lot clearer. So now it's time to do it. Oh, nearly catch my breath. I was just running down the stairs, running back up. It's a reminder for me to take it slow. This is my moment. So I'm going to catch my breath, rest a little bit for a few minutes, and then begin the process. See you soon. So here I am now on the floor. And there's the coffee. And there's half a litre, so it's not as much as I had hoped, but I think it's okay. For me, because it's my first time with the coffee, let's give it a go. I'm gonna go lie down and start the process. See you soon. Hey, I'm laying down and I managed all the liquid and I actually felt the water in my stomach and a little bit of cramps. And I'm just going to continue lying down. And I feel this is definitely the right stick because the other one was just coming out all the time. But please, if someone knows that this is indeed the right stick, then let me know. So I'm just going to continue and I'll see you on the other side. Wow, it was a lot better than I had imagined as well. And I did only do half, and I lay down for 20 minutes. That was good. And then when I went to the toilet, everything just came out. And when you do the liver and gallbladder flush like I did, it's advised to do an enema or colon hydrotherapy after you do the flush, because there still might be some stones left or anything that didn't really come out. And I noticed it when I went to the toilet. I had 10 more stones come out, and more like, it looked like flora or fauna from the inside. And I've been doing the flush. Yesterday I did it. No, actually the day before yesterday night, and then all of yesterday I was on the toilet, and by evening it was more like liquid, and also there was like crystals and like little bit of flora and fauna again. So it was like that again, but there was like a lot of it, and it felt like that was like the last of it from the flush. And the extra stones that came out explains last night how when I fell asleep I was having some pain, discomfort, not like horrendous pain, but I was feeling pains in my stomach, and I feel like the flush helped to release a big portion, and then any others that were trying to get through the system, I was feeling it last night. I felt them moving around, and then just now I did the coffee enema. It really helped them get them out, because then I saw 10 more stones come out. So that was like really incredible that they were stuck there. So if you have been following me so far, I've been doing the coffee enema, and I've just done a liver and a gallbladder flush, and it's a prerequisite to do either an enema or a colon hydrotherapy before you do the flush, and one after. So this is my after, and it was my first time doing the coffee enema, so it really cleared out everything of the system, and I felt it. I'm still feeling it now, so I'm just gonna take it easy for the rest of the day. And I am going to share the links and information for the flush, and there was something else, but I will look back. I just wanted to share this video journey of my first coffee enema, and it's just gone really well, and I will definitely give you an update on that. I know that I will be doing them more when I'm doing more flushes as well. I'm going to be doing my next flush in a month. It's so really is just changing my life, because I'm feeling so much calmer, more relaxed. My body especially, it feels so relaxed, because before it was always on overdrive. And I did a hair tissue mineral analysis, and that's what it showed, like my entire body, the immune system, the thyroid, everything was just imbalanced. And I felt that inside of me, and I felt like constant stressed as well, because the results also show that I was at, overcapacity, that inside of me, it wasn't really doing its job because it was so stressed out. But it's amazing how quickly I felt the ease and the peace. You see here, I have glaucoma in one eye, and I still see it vividly. Anyway, I feel that that's going to help that as well, because already I see my eyes, they're a bit clearer, even in my glaucoma, because usually that there would be bright red, it's wide. So I'm seeing and sensing it, something is clearing up. And I'm clearing up. So it's a really huge win. And I do advise you, if you have not heard of this before, then do your research. If you need to talk to a holistic doctor, do. I know that not many doctors know of this, not many doctors advise of this, so I'm going to share the book by the Ayurvedic intuitive doctor who really goes into depth about, why do people do the flushes, what's behind it, and why is it important to your health. And from my experience, it's really helped me on those issues. It's helped me feel much better internally. My body is no longer in that flight freeze, and it's huge because I'm feeling so relaxed in my mind, emotions. Like before, I would feel irritation, quick to irritation. I'm just not feeling that anymore. It's really incredible. I noticed that after the first enema. That was 2 days ago. It wasn't that long. Immediately, those feelings and inside of my body, it was just like, from being very alert to fighting survival and not working very well, like dysfunctional, and it was just easing its way down to relaxation. And then the flush, immediately, it just went down. I felt so relaxed, and now the coffee enema is just gone even down even more. I feel even relaxed, and there's nothing in my mind as well. I feel so clear. And I did notice something during the flush and during this whole process, that I'm not hungry as much, or something shifted, because in the past I would be snacking, but I don't feel that anymore. My body doesn't long for additional food, and because I've been doing the flush and the preparation 6 days before, I forgot to share, but when you read the book, you will see how the process is and what you need to do for preparation. So before the actual flush, for 6 days, you need to stop eating meat, dairy, meat and dairy. Those are the two main ones. I'm a vegan, so it's no problem by me. But last week and the week before, I did start eating meat again and yogurt, so I stopped that. And then what you need to do is you drink apple juice or cherry juice, a liter of it, in the morning before you start your day. And then you have, a warm lunch, highly recommended, a warm vegan lunch. And then you have at night your dinner, a warm dinner. And also during the day, for me, I just drank warm water. It's recommended to drink warm water and not anything cold. So that's what I did. So I had the apple juice in the morning, and I didn't drink all of it in one go. Sometimes I just drank little less than usual. On the sixth day, I had my Enema, and I wasn't planning on doing the flush, but it naturally just happened. And so I didn't have any apple juice in the morning on the 6th day, but somehow it still worked out very well for me. So it is advised that you follow the steps, but I know that you can still follow your own way of doing things. If something doesn't work or the time is, off, then you can find a way to do it in your own way, because what matters is that you feel comfortable and you feel okay with doing it your way. So I did do that my way, and then it just goes into the flush, which I'm gonna post the book and the author below, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, because this was all about the coffee enema, but I started talking about what I was doing before. And now I'm just fascinating because I've just seen my teeth and I haven't brushed them because it's advised not to brush them during the flush. I haven't brushed them, and I'm really, surprised. They actually look very good. Yeah, it's just really amazing. I feel like something has definitely shifted and changed everywhere. Like I've said, so many results, so many extra things that I had no idea that this would happen. First on the enema and then on the flush. So I did them together and it's amazing. I feel like I have more life, more energy, and I'm less distracted. Actually, I'm not even distracted. I'm just doing how I did the flush and the enema. I took a chance on myself, and I really believe that's what we're here to do, and it's helping me really immensely. So I'm going to post an update when I can, but for now, have a great day, evening, wherever you are when you watch this. Bye. Thanks for watching.